Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. We got ourselves quite another awesome banger of a combo episode. We're going to be using the 01 C5 Corvette at Tokyo Expressway. Like I mentioned before, this is going to be a new recut build for this car. After we go through this car, we're going to switch gears and we're going to do one of the new swaps that was released in the new update. It's going to be using the Lexus RC F. I'll be showing you guys how to get both cars, the swap for the RC F, both liveries, parts for both color customization, and the setups, and most importantly, the gameplay, just to give you a general idea of what the cars can do at Tokyo Expressway. So hopefully this video will help you out when you try to get your first win at Tokyo Expressway, hopefully. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the episode. So for the Corvette C5, it's going to be right over here at the showroom. Right now it's also at the used car dealership, but it'll always be showroom. 85,000 credits, not too entirely expensive. If you guys want to copy the livery I have, which is going to be a very amazingly close replica to Dellenhart's 2000 livery, there it is right there. If you want to go ahead and just copy the hashtags, you can. Here are the particular parts I have for rims, the front, side, etc., from car customization. So if you want to go ahead and just pause the episode for each part, you can. And I'm just showing this so that way if you did not want the livery, you can just go ahead and just copy down the parts and add it to your car at car customization. So after you get your livery and your parts from car customization all figured out, let's go ahead and take a look at the build. As you can see here, I got ourselves sport hard tires, fully customized diff. I did manage to make a little tweak on the downforce. Power restrictor as well, you'll need that. Fully customized manual transmission at 310 kilometers. And then for the back part of the list, you basically need a lot of the parts from the tuning shop, as many as you possibly can. Racing, intake, and exhaust categories, and brakes, keep them as is to normal and you'll be good to go. Now the Corvette C5, this car is very quick. Might be the best car in this race when it comes to the long straightaway for top speed. So for the speed, you should be good to go. For handling, the car has a little bit of oversteer, but you can actually are able to drive it. So either on a controller or on the wheel, might be a little bit on the loose side, depending where you're at on the track and of course your tire life wear. Now, this car, very smooth, but like I did say, it is going to be loose. But despite that, very quick car, should have a lot of speed in the low to mid-speed corners, so you can see we're actually catching up with the GTRs. So very smooth through these corners. We're going to really pick a lot of time, especially in sector 2. As you see here, we're going to put it deep in the corner, got ourselves P5, thankfully. And we set our sights on the older gen Supra and Impreza with the RX-7 rear mirror. So we got a good chance when we finish up this first lap to find ourselves in P2. We get a good run out of that corner. We're going to get ourselves in a good line, get P4 easily, and then right in front of us, of course, is the duo of the RX-7 and the Supra. I just want to try to make sure and want to try to pass these guys before we actually do manage to end up being on that right-hand turn, because we know in the past that both the RX-7 and the Supra tend to really throw the cars extremely too hard deep in the corner. We're going to be alongside the Supra. We're going to let the Supra pass on by, and just like always, it's going to pretty much well cook that corner. This is going to result us getting an easy P2 as we finish up the first lap. And surprisingly for this car, for the hairpin, if you drive with a manual transmission, I would suggest to drive it on third gear. I think second gear might be too much power rotation, so if you can just stay in third gear and just slowly creep back on the throttle, you should be in good shape. But that's going to be it for our first lap of this race. Not too bad of a 2:18.8. Now we did manage to get the lead during lap 2, but as we finish up lap 2 and enter lap 3, it's going to be our scheduled hot lap for this race. And trust me, this Corvette is quick. As you can see, we've managed to do a 2:07.4, so this car definitely has some really good race pace overall. So I'll let you guys watch this hot lap scene, and then I'll see you guys when we get to our pit stop. Alright, so as we fast forward to the end of lap 7, you can see we basically have been doing all kinds of 207s through this whole entire run. And for our pit stop, all I'll be doing here is refilling the car with fuel. The tires are still in good shape. Really isn't much to really talk about really on that run. Tires, you know, good shape. Just refill the car up past the little diamond icon and you should be good to go with the fuel. After that, just do a couple more time trial laps around the track and you should be good to go. So very smooth, easy, quick build. It's going to be a big impressive improvement compared to our last build. It's going to be a 26:10 for our total race time with this Corvette C5. So a pretty big pickup, which I'm very glad and satisfied over with this build. And since we got ourselves that sweet clean race bonus, that's going to be it for race number 1. So now let's switch gears and start with race 2 with the Lexus RC F. Just like with the Corvette, you can find this car at the showroom. It's going to be the very first car you see when you choose Lexus. It's going to be a affordable 95,300 credits. So it might cost more than the Corvette, but despite that, you'll still should have enough credits to easily afford it. Now, moving on to the engine swap itself, which is going to be using the 2JC, which was the new engine that was added to the game. In order for you to buy it, you have to be collectible 50. If you haven't reached level 50 just yet, I would recommend just pause the game video. See if you have the engine in your garage, and if you do, just go ahead and redeem it right then and there. After you get your swap equipped, here's a livery that I'll be using for this car. If you want to do like you did in the first run with the Corvette, just go ahead and pause the episode and just copy the hashtags you see on screen. Here is the parts. If you want to use your own livery, here's the parts I'll be using for this particular car. Going through the rims, the front splitter, the side, of course the wing, and the rear bumper, and that's going to be it for the car. After you get your livery and car parts all figured out with the Lexus, let's go ahead and jump into the setup. And the setup is pretty much similar to the Corvette. Sport tires, fully customized diff. Play with the downforce a little bit with fully customized manual transmission at 370, and that's going to be it for the first part of the page. So thankfully we really didn't need to necessarily reduce the horsepower with this build. Moving into the other part of the list, as we take a look, we do have a couple more parts on the car added. So if you want to go ahead and pause the episode and see what you need from the tuning shop, you're more than welcome. And once you get all the parts all lined up, you should be good to go for this build. Now, just like with the Corvette, we're going to be in field map 1 for this race, but interestingly, we're actually going to do a bit of short shifting first part of the race. That way we can actually stretch our fuel mileage. So I would recommend once that RPM tracker bar turns into a magenta color, that's when you want to switch gears. Because if you really rev out that engine, then you're going to find yourself in trouble of having too much fuel being consumed. This car is a 7-speed, and just like for the first run, this car is going to be the fastest car when it comes to the straight line distance. So speed, not too much to worry about. The handling itself, I got to admit, is very similar to the Corvette, but you actually do have a bit more grip from the rear tires, which is nice. The Corvette, it did get a little bit loose right at the end of the race because of the tire digression on the rear of the car, but I could tell from this car that the rear tires were gripping pretty nicely in this car. Once we get through these corners, we're going to really maneuver pretty well. We make a little contact with the GTR, but go ahead and get ourselves a P5 right then and there. We're going to get ourselves a good strain of turns as we're going to go ahead and make a run on the old Gen Impreza, getting ourselves a P4 easily, and then right in front of us is the old Gen Supra. We do get a bit wide there, but we do save the car. We're going to try our best to make this pass workable. If it's all possible, we're going to be side by side, and then we do get the momentum, find ourselves a P3, and the RX-7 and the Honda NSX are both gone. They got themselves a pretty big lead over the rest of the field, so we had to play a little bit of catch-up in this race compared to the first race. But for our first up overall, not too shabby. We actually are catching up to the RX-7 rear mirror. For this last hairpin, the car actually does handle a bit decently good. I will say just be a little bit extra careful because the car would love to basically get to a drift mode. So just make sure you stay in third gear. Just be careful whenever you do get back on throttle, not to whip it around, and you should be good to go. But first lap, pretty smooth overall. Might not been as quick as the Corvette, but certainly felt decently good. At 219.2, fast forward to the end of lap 2 and lap 3, we're going to get ourselves a very easy, effortless pass for lead as we get that nice slipstream from the Honda, make a slingshot pass to the left side, and from that point on we kept the lead and basically right away from it. So let's go ahead and now fast forward to our fast lap to lap number 6. Just like with the Corvette, I would really recommend you guys just watching this clip, and after that I'll show you guys our pit stop. Alright, so lap 7 is going to be our scheduled lap for pit stop, and just like with the Corvette, we're going to keep the tires on the car. And one thing I did notice that the tire life actually was a bit better with the Lexus compared to the Corvette. So we're going to refill past that little diamond icon on the fuel bar, and once we do that, we're going to stop refueling the car, go back out to the track, do a couple more solo time trial laps around Tokyo Expressway, and that's going to be it for our second run. So as we fast forward to the very end of the race, right there, we are able to save enough fuel for the rest to finish up the race. Now we're a bit slower, but not too much slower. It's going to be a 26:14, so a decently good run overall, just about 4 seconds slower compared to the Corvette C5. But you know, I think overall it's pretty decent. It did the job, which is what's most important. Felt good to drive as well. Got ourselves that clean race bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. So here's a quick preview. We're going to be using the BRZ S21 swap at Tokyo Expressway next for our next episode, so I'm looking forward for that. And after we get done with this particular swap build, we're actually going to be using the other new swap build, which is going to be I think it's the Nissan Fairlady 2-seater, I think, from the early 90s as a swap with the new LS7 swap. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, why not go ahead and leave a like. If you enjoyed what you saw today and like to see some more of my content, why not go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well, turn on the bell as well. If you want to leave any comments for any suggested builds in the future, you're more welcome to put them in the comment section below. And with that all being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night, where it might be, and I'll see you guys later, and take care.